Can the Chicago Bulls make a trade that's going to allow them to throw their hat into the Damian Lillard ring after he's requested a trade out of Portland? We'll talk about what a trade could look like and why the Bulls should try to be in on it. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talk Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. So Damian Lillard looking for a trade. And here's right. I know most Bulls fans are going to look at this video and say, oh boy, here's a long shot video. This is a long shot type of thing. But I don't think it's as long shot, you got to say that the right way, as many Bulls fans may think. Not to say that the Bulls have the best package that they could throw out there, but I think the thing is that Damian Lillard wants to go to Miami. Here's where the conversation starts for me. Damian Lillard wants to be a member of the Miami Heat. Miami doesn't have much to throw back. You're talking about Tyler Hero. You're talking about Duncan Robinson. He wants to play with Bam Adebayo, so you can't include him in the package. Are you going to move on from Jimmy? More than likely not. He just took you to a finals. You're going to throw Kyle Lowry in that deal, maybe if you want money to just kind of go away. But I don't realistically see any of those being the best package on the market. Now, if they want to move him there just because finally he's doing the right thing and he's allowing them to move on from him, basically is how I'm saying it, because Damian Lillard had to make this call, right? He had to finally say that he's requesting a trade to get out of Portland. So now that this is finally happening, he wants to go to Miami. If Portland's just going to be, okay, we'll send you wherever you want to go. We'll figure it out from there. We appreciate everything you've done for us as a Blazer. Boom, here you are, Miami Heat. We'll take whatever you can throw at us. That's fine. But here is the biggest problem with all of that. Portland has to continue to be a basketball team after this, and they have to continue to try to move in the right direction. The best thing that Portland has going for it right now is $160 million to Jeremy Grant and a ton of youth on this team. That's not really great. Right? Like, you hope that some of these young players are going to pan out, but there is no guarantee with those guys. And so you kind of look at the Portland Trailblazers in a situation where, what's the direction that you want to take? We know they want to go young. We know they want to ride it out. They just got the young man Scoot in there as well. So you know that they're going to try to develop him, but are they going to try to be competitive at all? Or are they going to try to continue losing? There's a lot of questions that play in with what Portland is, the direction that they're actually going to go when you talk about this trade with Miami. And does that actually help the Portland Trailblazers in the long run, right? And so it got me to thinking on, could the Bulls be able to find a way to get a deal together to put themselves into the Damian Lillard conversation? And yes, it's not one of Dame's preferred destinations, but he does have a couple of guys here who he's very close with, in DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Both of them played with Dame on the 2020 U.S. Olympic team out in Tokyo. They've got that relationship built up. They've talked about that before, that, they're very close. And so I think that the Chicago Bulls, well, I don't know about very close, but that they're close, right? They became friends while on the trip. I'm not going to sit here and speculate on their friendship out here, but that they became close on the trip. And so to me, right, especially like a guy like DeMar DeRozan, it made me start to think about what a possible Dame trade could look like and how the Bulls could possibly get themselves into that conversation. And when you start to even just throw some of the pieces on the trade machine, or whatever trade packages y'all put together, however y'all do it, right? I just kind of go through it and look and see what money matches and throw picks in there, and then throw that in the SPO track or whatever it is. But for me, I'm looking at a situation where Portland wants to get back good players. Portland wants to get back some draft capital, probably. Portland probably also wants to get back some young players. We heard about them talking about getting back a young, defensive-minded two-way player in the deal. And the Bulls have a couple of those on this team. So for me, I was looking at the situation. I was like, I feel like the package that the Bulls could send could be a better package to the Portland Trailblazers. It may be a package that helps accentuate that youth in the long term, helps add to the growth of those young players on the team while still being able to remain somewhat competitive team in the West. So you see one of the deals I got cooked up here, right? I mean, The real question to me was, can the Bulls position themselves to a point where you look at the Dame Lillard trade and both sides feel like they're getting something out of it? Now, of course, the Chicago Bulls are ending up with Dame, but sending back that first rounder that we do own from the Portland Trail Blazers, especially as seeing as how now the protections seem like they're probably not going to get removed. You end up sending back the draft capital. It might even cost you some more draft capital. And the real thing was, are the moves that the Bulls made a way for them to position themselves to make a trade like this work? Nikola Vucevic, Kobe White, both guys who just got new contracts. Could you be able to throw them into the deal? And then Patrick Williams being that young two-way defender. And if Portland wasn't really big on P. Will, I could see the Bulls swapping out an Alex Caruso possibly in that situation, which would put P. Will in more of a leadership role off of the bench, puts P. Will kind of in more of a position to be able to go out there and, you know, kind of get his own legs under himself on the Bulls team, taking over that Alex Caruso role. Still has more length, of course, an AK pick, so maybe more likely that AK would want to hold on to him. Maybe he would lead with Caruso in that deal. But I think that that's a deal that, one, the Bulls, of course, come out. No matter what, here's the thing. No matter who ends up trading back and forth, the team that gets Damian Lillard is going to come out with the best deal. So for all the people that are going to be like, well, why would Portland take a deal like that? The real question is that a better deal than what Miami can throw at you? For me, what Miami's throwing at you is a ton of pick swaps. Tyler Hero, who's coming off a wrist surgery. Duncan Robinson, who, he got hot in the playoffs. And Kyle Lowry. It's not a very amazing package to be throwing back my way. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this is the best package that the Bulls could throw out there and somehow they hold on to DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine and all of this, and you add Damian Lillard to it. But I am going to tell you that I would say that this is a better package to me than what the Miami Heat are putting together right now. Of course, there'll probably be some pick swaps involved in all of that, right? Like, it's not like that's going to be the entire deal. That would be the basis of the deal. Maybe Brooklyn probably could offer more out of anybody, right? Like, Brooklyn has a ton of young players, ton of two-way players, right? I can see them getting their names in the conversation as well. But I don't think that the Bulls should be completely out on this. To me, I think that this is a deal that if Portland's willing to take what Miami is offering and they're listening to Brooklyn, why wouldn't the Bulls throw their names in this deal? This is a move to me that you've still got youth on your team. You still have your Dalen Terrys. You still have your possibly now bringing back Ayo Dosunmu. You just added Javon Carter, right, coming off your bench. Not bad. You've either got Caruso or P. Will, one or the other in this deal at the end of it. So you're still having that, okay, we've still got a nice bench here. Now you're looking at your starting lineup. Maybe you got to move Andre Drummond into the starting lineup. Maybe Marko Simonovic finally can end up getting some tick on this team, my God, or Adama Sanago, somebody in that situation, right? But you've still got a ton of young players, Julian Phillips on this team, so you still have your future, right? But now you're adding in a piece that takes you from here all the way to the top, skyrockets you pretty much in this division. You're adding that in, that point guard piece that we've talked about, even though much more of a scorer, still a guy that can facilitate the basketball, still a guy that's going to be a leader on this team. He's already got a relationship built up with Zach LaVine. You pair that with DeMar DeRozan being able to operate in that mid-range game. I think that would be a team that definitely is formidable. I think that's a team that AK could absolutely throw out there, and it would be a nice team to watch on a night in and night out basis, because at a minimum that team would be able to give it 110% like we saw in the second half of the season every single night. Let me know how you guys feel, man, in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. Do you think that the Bulls could throw their hat in the ring on a Damian Lillard deal? Do you like the trade that I have put together? I think that that's a pretty good trade. Again, like I said, you can swap P. Will or Caruso out in that. Yes, you lose Vooch as a big man. Most of you guys won't be upset about that. I would be a little bit hurt that Vooch is not here because you're losing that presence inside, but you do have Andre Drummond. I would love to see the pick and roll with Andre Drummond and Damian Lillard. I think that would be really good to watch. You lose that stretch big, right? But you also have way more spacing with Dame, Javon Carter, Zach LaVine, right? So those are your three-point shooters on your team. If you hold on to P. Will, you still got him out there. If you don't, you got Caruso and DeMar DeRozan operating kind of in that middle more so. Although AC can pull the three, I just don't want to see a ton of it. And to me, right, like all of a sudden now you're pairing that up with Billy Donovan. Now, again, I know a lot of people aren't Billy Donovan fans or big Billy Donovan supporters out here, right? But we've seen Billy Donovan with star talent. We've seen him win a lot of games with that star talent. Now you're adding that to this team. You're pairing that with Zach LaVine, who's still a younger player and can go a long way. Even as Damian Lillard starts to decline, maybe that's when Zach LaVine starts to pick it up. I think that this is good for now. It's good for future. It kind of fits fixtures you're playing, you still got to figure out what the heck you're going to do with Lonzo's money, because it does put you in a situation where that second apron is looking really, really, really bad. That second apron is crazy right now. But at the end of all of it, right, DeMar DeRozan could be coming off of the books. Do you re-sign him? You might end up losing. You'll finally be able to get out Alonzo money eventually. So your future is bright too. You do have Dame signed up for a couple more years. I believe he has 2 more years on that contract, that extension that he signed. So all of that being said, let me know how you guys feel in the comments below, man. I think that this would be a deal that the Bulls should at a minimum throw their hat in the ring on. I mean, at the end of the day, all they can say is no. If they say no, okay, we keep moving on. We go about our plan as we do. We hope that these young guys develop. I don't think much of the plan has changed, but I think if you pull off a deal like this, you're not talking about the Chicago Bulls as definitely not a 10th seed, but I don't even think you're talking about them as a 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. If everybody can manage to stay healthy on that team, you can be talking about the Bulls, the top 3 seed in this Eastern Conference right now. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bulls content. Click the links on the screen or check the links in the description below. Hey, y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. One love. Peace.